Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Film and TV channel. We have a little TV series today, 10 episodes. Yeah, getting quite a lot of love, certainly from the critics anyway. So it's actually showing on Amazon Prime at the moment. It actually premiered on May the 14th, 2021. And we're going to have a look at the 10 episodes of The Underground Railroad today. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, all these little information vlogs I do are coming out. I do information vlogs, reviews, lots of different things on film and TV. Just check those playlists. And you'll also see stuff on my football team, Manchester City, as well. So if you're any interest in that, I do City Past, City Present, quizzes, book clubs, loads of little magazine things on Manchester City. So if you or you know anyone who might be interested, please point in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. And please, if you need any followers or friends on Facebook and Twitter, just seek me out. And I do check every 2 or 3 days and follow and friend everyone back and do post loads of film stuff and TV stuff on there as well. All your comments are welcome, certainly on this series. As I say, my opinions on this aren't quite the same as many people, so just if you disagree with me or agree with whatever I say, just leave us a little comment of what you think anyway. And if you don't have time for a comment today, you can just give us a thumbs up. It's nice to get views, but it's nice to get thumbs up to know you're out there watching these things. That'd be much appreciated. Yeah, The Underground Railroad, historical drama. Yeah, it's an alternate world. This isn't. It's sort of taken from facts, of course, from real life here now on this world, but obviously it's a sort of a different slant on it, a different look at it, like an alternate universe, if you like. And it's based on the novel of the same name by Colson Whitehead. So yeah, if you've read the novel, I haven't read the novel. I've been looking through some of the reviews. Yeah, some people say this series does it fair justice. Some people say it's read the book, but there you go. You're always going to get that, aren't you? It's about, what's it about? Well, as I said, an alternate timeline. The Underground Railroad, in reality, a network of abolitionists, hidden routes and safe houses that helped enslaved African Americans escape to freedom in the early to mid 1800s, is an actual railroad complete with engineers, conductors, tracks and tunnels. Obviously it wasn't in real life. Cora, an enslaved black person in Georgia, joins newcomer Caesar in an effort to ride the subterranean train to freedom. Yeah, many other adventures as well. It stars Thuso Mabudu as Cora Randall, Chase W. Dillon as Homer, Aaron Pierre as Caesar, and Joel Edgerton as Ridgway, plus a myriad of many other actors and extras in this one. Is it any good? Well, all these scores are as at the 16th of May 2021 at 1 PM UK time. So these are being added to all the time as I review this. It would have gone up even now. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes had an approval rating from all the critics. 50 critics, 96% approval rating, an average rating of 9 out of 10. The consensus reads, with a superb ensemble and Barry Jenkins' singular eye, The Underground Railroad delicately translates its source material into a powerfully humane series that is as challenging as it is necessary. Metacritic, the other critic site we look at, gave the series a weighted average score of 93 out of 100 based on 30 critics' reviews, and there's not a single mixed or negative review. They're all positive, 30 positive reviews, and it scored anywhere between the lowest 75 out of 100 and the most 100 out of 100, which we had 16 times. We had 16 scores of 100 out of 100 from the critics. You know me, nothing's ever worth a 10, and I'm afraid this isn't worth a 10 either, but there you go. Internet Movie Database, is there any sense coming from there? As I say, the critics have sort of a little bit over the top in my opinion. Internet Movie Database, yeah, 6.8 out of 10. That was actually 6.4 out of 10 when I first did the initial look at this. That was about a couple of days ago as I'm recording this. So it actually has increased, and that's based on 737 scores and reviews that have been left. So it's got an interesting average of 6.8 out of 10. But you look at the episodes individually, from 1 to 10, starting with the beginning. It's interesting, the scores, they're all quite high. There's nothing less than a 7.2. So for instance, episode 1 is 8.3, episode 2 is 8.3, episode 3 is 7.6, episode 4 7.2, episode 5 8.1, episode 6 7.7, Episode 7, that's the lowest, 7.2. Episode 8, 7.3. Episode 9, 7.5. And episode 10, 7.4. There's a definite difference there between, obviously, there's a lot of 7 scores, but most of the bigger scores were at the earlier episodes, which I'll touch upon later when I do my little views on this. Of all those people that have left the scores of the 737, proportionally wise, there's not many in the middle. There's not many scored it 4 to 7. They've either been very much in favour or very much against. So, for instance, 162 people scored it anywhere between 1 out of 10 and 3 out of 10, and 463 people scored it anywhere between 8 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. And as I said, there's not a lot in between. So on to my little thoughts on this. I mean, I don't doubt the qualities within this series, but after 2 or 3 great, powerful, evocative episodes, it does start to sort of lag at times as it moves further and further into the story. It's always easy on the eye. Yes, it's fantastically shot. Some of the scenes are like a fist in the gut. They're very powerful. Horrible. Some of the scenes are actually horrible. They do verge on horror. I mean, I don't mind watching those scenes as long as there's a comeuppance for the people who are actually doing this thing, but it isn't always so. But then again, it probably isn't always so in real life, is it? But there are also scenes that are very drawn out, where despite atmospheric shots interspersed, nothing really happens in them. And I say the episodes themselves last anywhere between about 47 minutes, and I think there's an odd hour and 10-minute episode. So they're not 40-minute short, sharp episodes. They do sort of sadly, as this progresses, to my opinion, they drag on just a little bit. It did remind me in a big way, even though it's a totally different subject, totally different genre, totally different time period, etc. It did remind me a little bit of American Gods, which I think was fantastic when I first started watching that. But again, it sort of lost its way and it sort of meanders around, and it was, even though it was good on the eye, it got a little bit boring. And I'm afraid, for me anyway, personally, this was exactly the same, despite the subject matter we were talking about. Acting is fine, nothing wrong with the acting. Some nice soundtracks, some sort of modern songs that sort of mixed into the thing, which is what you expect with a sort of modern drama series like this. As I say, the critics overwhelmingly love it. There isn't many negatives at all as far as the critics are concerned. The public, as I said, do have the reservations. They're not quite as impressed, and I'm a member of the public. As I say, even though if you'd asked me after 3 or 4 episodes, I would have probably scored this quite high. But I'm sorry, as it went on, I certainly wasn't impressed, and there are others who share my misgivings on this as I look through the various reviews. So it does split opinions, but obviously most people seem to, I'm thinking that a lot of those scores are based on the fact they might only watch 2 or 3 episodes. I'm not too sure. I mean, I'd like to think I'm not that totally way out with what people are thinking, but as I said, I myself would have scored it very highly. But I said the public at 6.6, under 7, obviously aren't as loving of it as the critics appear to be. Entertainment, yeah. Some episodes, as I said, were outstanding. I said the first 5 episodes, I think there was 3 episodes that are probably excellent episodes. But later on, it just doesn't work for me. It just seems to get a little bit repetitive as well in the storyline, which is there's characters in it, but there's only a limited number of main characters. So the actual storyline of this thing does get a little bit, we've seen it all before, someone trying to run away and someone being caught and someone searching for it. I just don't know where some of the hype has come from. There is a lot to like, if that's the right word. As I say, some of the scenes are not very likeable at all. But although it is superbly shot, there is a lot of filler. It's like a canvas or perhaps a piece of art that's come to life, where you're just looking at nice images and people's reactions and emotions, etc. But I mean, the scenes where the sort of crowd scenes or group of people, and the sort of camera panning across, and their eyes are just watching the camera as it goes across. You know, for a couple of minutes, it's just yeah, I want to be entertained. I want to be, and I can put up with that if it's in little bits and pieces. But as I said, it keeps cropping up throughout this series. You get these sort of where it starts to wander off at a tangent. You know, and the story. Let's face it, the story is probably as it is in the book. It is a little bit confusing at times. I got a little bit confused as to what the time shift was, what the time frame was, because that does alter as well in it and stuff like that. So I have to say, despite being drawn into this very early doors, and I thought I binge watched this. I did watch it all over a couple of days. I watched it one evening, and then obviously the day and the afternoon of the following day. And I was looking forward to all the 10 episodes, but I just by the end was finding it a little bit annoying and lackluster, and very, very overhyped in my opinion. I'd say it's brilliant, absolutely brilliantly put together, brilliant to watch, but you know, you do want a story in this as well, and sometimes that story is sadly lacking, as I said, which is a shame, because as I said, I think early on those episodes, some of the early episodes were extremely powerful and extremely evocative, and it's such a shame that I don't feel a little bit more happy with this sort of, not happy, what's the word, a little bit more impressed, yeah, I mean, as some of the critics seem to be. I'm sorry, it just left me a little flat by the end. So if I had to score the first 3, 4, 5 episodes, it would probably be up to the 7.58 out of 10. But I'm going to do an overall 5.5 out of 10, which is well down on everybody else's. But as I say, it was just the fact I was so disappointed with how the thing progressed, and all the good things it did initially, all the powerful things that hooked you in, which is what they did. I mean, they just took the mick then after that. They just didn't carry on in the same sort of vein. So my 5.5 out of 10, it's as I say, it certainly wouldn't put you off watching it, and you may get more out of it than I have, which as many people have, but I just found it all like American Gods in its own way, which I did like the early stuff, but I got a little bit bored with that as well. I think it's far too clever for its own good, and this follows a similar sort of pattern in style and how it's presented. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. What are we going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps have a flick across, have a look at my football channel, the Citizen channel. Whatever it is, all I ever ask you to do is please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.